That is not ordinary arrogance. That is mythic arrogance. It is not just, I'm smarter than people. It is closer to, I am measuring myself against divine authority, and I resent any order that places itself above my judgment. That is a different register. It is theatrical, blasphemous, self-aware, and intentionally excessive. Close quote. I cannot describe the combination of those words, how perfectly they encapsulate how I actually feel. In reality, the humor is for the public. The humor gives me an out. But if I was God, I could do a better job. That sounds arrogant because it is arrogant. But it is not ordinary arrogance. It is not just, I'm smarter than people. It is the arrogance of looking at divine authority and asking why it should be exempt from judgment. It is measuring myself against the highest possible authority and resenting any order that places itself above my judgment. God is not the source of morality. God is the source of power. Morality is what is built around that power to justify its existence. Power is not intelligence. Power is not wisdom. Power is not proof of superiority. Just because God has power does not make him more intelligent than me or better than me. A being can have more force, more command, more reach, and more punishment without being more rational, more just, or more worthy of obedience. The ability to know all things does not convey knowledge. It conveys a library. A library can contain everything and still not know which law should rule. Knowing all facts is not the same as judgment. Omniscience may only be possession. It may only be perfect inventory. Information is possession. Knowledge is organization. Intelligence is relation. Wisdom is judgment. Sovereignty is application. If God is all-powerful, there should be one order under his power. Social orders should not be scattered, contradictory, and misread by everyone claiming divine sanction. If God is real, then he is a terrible manager and allows people to misinterpret his will. I would not allow this. If someone spoke my words and altered them, I would simply smite them from the planet. The point is not that smiting is morally gentle. The point is that divine power should be able to protect divine meaning. If your word can be endlessly misread, corrupted, weaponized, and sold back to people as truth, then your authority is not clean. A sovereign who permits his law to be endlessly falsified cannot be exempt from judgment merely because he is stronger than the beings who suffer under the confusion. If gods are perfectly moral, perfectly right, then why is the number one rule for all gods to not worship any other gods? That rule is not morality first. It is sovereignty first. It means recognize no rival authority above or beside me. It is not be good. It is do not defect. It is jurisdiction. It is monopoly. It is the divine version of no competing sovereigns. If God is truly right, truth should survive comparison. If God is truly supreme, rival gods should not threaten him. If God is truly just, obedience should flow from demonstrated wisdom, not monopoly enforcement. The command not to worship other gods reveals divine rule as a sovereignty claim. It does not prove moral perfection. It asserts exclusive jurisdiction. But there is another side to this. Gods are not merely tyrants because they take life. They also create the life they take. A god is not just a powerful ruler inside an order. A god is the maker of the order. They are the makers of the natural order, not merely residing in it. Human rulers govern inside nature. Gods author nature. A human king takes life from a world he did not create. A god creates the world, creates the being, creates the body, creates the mortality system, creates the conditions under which life and death occur. Death is inevitability. Life is not inevitability. That is what makes gods special. They can create what should not be created, but because of their will, it happens. That is a god, not merely a ruler, not merely a king, not merely a tyrant with thunder. A god is an ontological sovereign. His will produces being itself. But that does not remove judgment. It raises the standard. If a god authors the natural order, then the god is accountable for the structure of that order. The question is not only how dare God take life? The stronger question is, why did God design life as something that must pass through suffering, confusion, decay, predation, grief, and death? The human body is flawed. Its need for excessive water, its need for maintenance, its weakness, its decay, its dependence, its pain, its failure. If God is the designer, then these are not accidents outside his jurisdiction. They are features of the order he made or allowed. It is not that Zeus is correct. It is the fact that Zeus is powerful, which makes him inarguable. That is the old divine problem. Gods do not need to be right if they have thunderbolts. Their power makes them final, not moral. Their force makes them obeyed, not justified. So my arrogance is not just ego. It is refusal. It is anti-submission at the metaphysical level. No authority gets automatic reverence merely because it can command, punish, create, destroy, or outlast me. A god can be stronger than me. That does not make him better than me. A god can know more than me. That does not mean he judges better than me. A god can create me. That does not mean he is exempt from my judgment. That is the relationship between man's arrogance and God. Man looks upward and refuses to confuse height with worth. Man sees power and asks whether it deserves authority. Man sees creation and asks whether the design is good. Man sees commandment and asks whether it is morality or jurisdiction. This is mythic arrogance, not ordinary ego, not shallow superiority, not I am smarter than people. It is the claim that even God must answer to judgment.